think so, yeah.
So,
So,
I don't see any NOIs in any of his recent other cases. He did have a mental health hearing in 2021, and he's had other recent cases, but I don't see any NOIs. So I understand your concern.
I just want to, Mr. Banks, he's just asking you questions so I feel comfortable taking your plea to make sure that you understand what's happening here.
home.
I know. We want to get you home. We want to get you home, but we got to make sure that you know what's going on, okay?
what does the judge do? How would you
To say
explain?
this is the law and I follow the law.
Okay, all right, and defense attorney, what is a defense attorney?
That's
do?
when, that's oh, no, what is it? What is your name?
Alex,
Alex, that's a
Yeah.
beautiful name.
thank you.
Is it like Alexander?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. How come you don't go by Alexander?
It's just easier to go by my shorter.
It's happening.
So, Mr. Banks, I'd love for you to get to know Mr. Kiefer. But, you know, we don't have a lot of time. So I just want to make sure, you know, you can't go back to the 55 West, right? You'll probably get arrested if you go back there. If you go back to 55 West, you can't go back, right? You got trespassed from there. That's why you're here. Okay? Do you want to go home today? Okay, I know. Okay, Mr. Kiefer, do you think that he understands? I think he understands. Can't go back
I think
there.
so.
Yeah?
Yeah, are we appointed on this case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to make sure that he gets what's happening. Yeah, we don't want to keep you here any longer than you need to be. So, Mr. Banks, you told me you were familiar with the plea form. Are you on probation anywhere? Okay. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation? Okay, but you understand if you're not, then it will subject you to deportation. All right, and you want to plead no contest? You want to plead no contest? Okay, I'm gonna adjudicate you guilty and sentence you to 40 days with credit for 40 days time served. You can't go back to 55 West Church Street. There's a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $69.40 in court costs. I'm gonna give you a year to pay all that, okay? If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. All right, good luck, Mr. Banks. Have a good day. All right, tell me your name.
Tim Hitchcock, Timothy Hitchcock.
All right, Mr. Hitchcock, you're here in 2022 MM 8690 for trespass in an occupied structure. Was there an offer?
Yes, Judge, state did convey an offer to Mr. Hitchcock of an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return to the Walgreens located at 2420 East Colonial Drive, and cost investigation to Orlando Police Department in the amount of $26.48.
All right, Mr. Hitchcock, did you want to resolve your case today with that offer?
Yes.
Okay, did you read the plea form?
No, I didn't read it.
All right, these are all public defender clients. Have you read that plea form before, Mr. Hitchcock?
Yeah, I read it.
Okay. Do you understand everything on it?
Yeah,
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere?
Probation, no.
No probation?
No.
Okay. Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes,
All right. I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 28 days with credit for 28 days time served. Can't go back to the Walgreens, okay?
okay.
No, and there's a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $26.48, and court costs, I'll give you a year to pay those. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
All right.
I don't have his,
Oh, I don't know. What was the address?
2420 West Colonial.
the case number, yeah. Okay. Your Honor, what was the case number? I'm sorry. 530, thank you. And what was his first name? Last name? Timothy? Okay.
You might want to be with them, Mr. Kiefer, because they're all your clients.
Okay.
Okay, I know it's the first time you're here. That was Mr.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think.
This is, are you Mr. Jason Lewis?
Jason Lewis.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, you're here in 2022 MM 860580, and this is trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. Is there an offer?
Yes, Judge, state did convey an offer to Mr. Lewis of an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, no return to Robinson Hills, AFCH, which is located at 7927 Hawk Crest Lane.
All right, so do you want to accept that offer, Mr. Lewis?
What does it detail?
What is what?
What does it detail?
What does it what?
Detail.
Detail? So you would be adjudicated guilty, you'd get credit for the 32 days that you served in jail, and you can't go back to, and I'm gonna just read it from the information, because I didn't understand what it was.
It's Robinson Hills Adult Care Home Facility.
Robinson Hills Adult Care,
Home Facility.
yeah, you can't go back to the Robinson Hills.
We do not want to do that.
You wanna do that?
We do not want to do
You
that.
do not wanna do
Your
that.
Honor, could we briefly approach?
Approach? Okay, sure. What's going on? Oh, okay. Yeah, it's my case. Okay, well, get yourself a filed motion. All right, Mr. Lewis, we're gonna enter a plea of not guilty and give you give you a pretrial and a trial date. Well, you don't need that. Do you need that?
Okay.
Traffic arraignment, Michael Riley, he refused his appearance this morning.
All right, we'll enter a plea of not guilty and give him a pretrial and a trial date. All right, tell me your name.
William Bingham.
Mr. Bingham, you're here in 2023 MM 403AO. It's a petty theft, and
State did convey an offer to Mr. Bingham of an adjudication, credit for time served, no return to the Walgreens at 6201 International Drive, and cost of investigation to OPD in the amount of $217.
you want to do that? Mr. Bingham, you have 44 days credit for time served.
And then I paid $217.
Well, I'll give you a year to pay your court costs and any fees,
That means I can go home today, though?
if they don't have any other holds on you.
He's in on another case.
So you have another case. I don't know if you have a bond or not.
Let me see. He's a bond, 5,100 total.
You do have a bond in the other case.
That burglary, that
Yeah.
14338, this was down filed
this
from
was
that.
down, okay.
So I
So
believe he
that
would be
is-
released.
This
You would
is the
go
only
home,
case.
okay, so this would let you out. Okay.
Oh, I
Did you,
Yeah,
did you read any plea forms?
Yeah,
read a
no, I
plea
appreciate it. Plea form?
Yeah,
I don't know what that
okay,
is. The burglary was dropped and you're letting me go for credit time served, correct?
yeah, but I need a plea form.
I have one, Your Honor.
New with all this.
All right.
All right. Did you read the plea form?
Do I get a copy of it?
You gotta have them read the forms, Mr. Kiefer. I mean, it's,
Just what you said, don't go back to that Walgreens.
it's not just what I said. But they don't understand unless they get the form, so I'm guess I'm just confused.
Davis, no.
What were we doing?
Good, we're good.
I don't know. The whole time?
Okay.
So when we break, that's when you go talk to people? Right. Yeah, yeah. All right, Mr. Bingham, did you read the plea form? Is that your signature at the bottom? Do you understand everything in the plea form? Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Are you on probation anywhere? You understand if you're not a US citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Ma'am.
All right, you pleading guilty or no contest?
Costa does?
No contest.
All right, and I will accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 44 days with credit for 44 days time served, no return to the Walgreens at 6201 International Drive. There is a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $217 in court costs. I'll give you a year to pay those. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. Good luck.
Behavior, Watkins and others.
All right. John Davis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, tell me your name.
Sean Davis.
All right, Mr. Davis, you're here in 2023 MM 40280. It's a criminal mischief. Did the state have an offer?
Not at this time.
Okay, the state doesn't have an offer for you, Mr. Davis, so I'm gonna enter a plea of not guilty, and we'll give you a trial and a trial date, a pretrial and a trial date, okay? All right,
It's a misdemeanor now?
it is a misdemeanor.
Thank you. Been here since December 16th.
They'll bring you over.
Thank you.
All right, tell me your name.
Sorry. Jermaine Summers.
All right. Is this an add-on? He's not on my, I mean, I have paper, but he's not in the docket part. All right, Mr. Summers, you're here in 2022 MM 721AW, and the public defender is appointed in your case. You're charged with resisting an officer without violence and battery, domestic violence. And so my guess is the state doesn't have an offer for you today. So we'll enter a plea of not guilty for you, and we'll give you a pretrial and a trial date in Division 50. All right, good luck, sir. Okay. Okay. Mr. Kiefer, if I'm gonna, Kiefer, I'm sorry, I'm gonna appoint you, and do you wanna waive their appearance?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll waive Mr. Acosta's appearance.
All right, 2023 MM 492AO, I appointed the PD, they've waived his appearance. It's a petty theft and a resisting without violence. There is probable cause and no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, no contact with any victims or witness. I'll stay the bonds or mental health or pretrial release, mental health pretrial release or pretrial release if qualifying.
So mental health PTR first?
Either one, any of them, if they qualify, or the bond.
Okay. Because mental health typically takes up to 5 days for them to talk to
Well,
us.
I know, but if if he qualifies for PTR too, that's why.
Okay, okay.
She's on behavior status.
Okay, if she can't behave, I'm not gonna wait for her to behave, so I'm gonna find her behavior to be a waiver. 2023 MM 19E, I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office. There is probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia, and the bond will stay at 500, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
Same with Castilla Herrera. He's on behavior status.
Right, and I'll find the behavior to be a waiver, 2023 MM 49AW, appoint the Public Defender's Office. There is probable cause, and I'm gonna set the bond at $500.
Mr. Haddon refused his appearance, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Haddon didn't wanna come see me today? Aw. Okay, Mr. Haddon, 2023 MM 47AW, I'm gonna find his refusal to be a waiver, appoint the public defender. He's not to return back to the 7-Eleven, and no contact with any victims or witnesses. The bond will stay set at 500. Good afternoon, tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Samantha Lavermont.
All right, Ms. Mock, you're here in 2023 MM 498AO. You're arrested for petty theft. I do find probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Does the state have an offer?
Not at this time because it's enhanceable.
Did you want to see if you qualify for the public defender, Ms. Mock?
Yeah, I already paid my lawyer a long time ago.
I'm sorry?
I paid my lawyers when I was in.
You're gonna hire a lawyer?
No, ma'am. I said I paid my lawyers already when I was in foster care when I was a child.
Okay,
I'm
so
27
do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? Do you
We're
work?
all living homeless and had no clothes on.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to return back to the Walgreens at 6201 International Drive. No contact with any victims or witnesses. And your bond will stay at $250.
Yeah.
Well, how long? Okay.
That's your bond. You have a lawyer. Is this Mr. Morrison? All right. Tell me your name.
Jeremy Morrison.
All right, Mr. Morrison, you're here in 2023 MM 499AO. You're arrested for petty theft. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. No return back to the Goodwill. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. The bond will stay at $250. I'm not revoking your release, Mr. Morrison. If you come back, it's probably gonna get revoked.
Hey, what now? You said,
I'm not revoking your bond
oh, okay.
or your release, okay?
Okay. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Justin Robinson?
Mr. Robinson, you're here in 2023 MM 489AO. You're arrested for trespass on property after warning. I do find probable cause. Ms. Fleming, did you have an offer?
Yes, Judge, state did convey an offer of a withhold, credit for time served of 2 days, and no return absent medical emergency.
All right, did you want to accept that, Mr. Robinson?
Yes.
He's already signed a plea form, Your Honor.
Okay, did you read the plea form, Mr. Robinson?
Yeah.
Do you understand everything in it? Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea? Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a US citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Okay.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
All right, I do find a factual basis based on the affidavit. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served. You may not return absent a medical emergency to
Giving you credit times.
the Hunters Creek Emergency Room and abide by any trespass warning. And I'll impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay, okay? Good luck. Good afternoon. Tell me your name.
My name is Scott Keenan Bell.
All right, Mr. Bell, you're here in 2023 MO 125. You're arrested for urinating or defecating in public. There's probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, an adjudication credit for 2 days.
You want to do that, Mr. Bell?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a plea form signed, Your Honor?
Okay, Mr. Bell, did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand everything contained in the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do find a factual basis to accept your plea. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served. Order you pay court costs and all within a year, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'm not revoking the release in the out on release case. Just make sure you don't miss any court.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Good day. Tell me your name.
Timothy Dwayne Lyman.
Mr. Lyman, you're here in 23 MO 126. It's disorderly conduct. I find probable cause. Does the state have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, it was an adjudication credit for 2 days.
Do you want to do that, Mr. Lyman?
Yes, ma'am.
We have a signed plea form, Your Honor?
All right, Mr. Lyman, did you read the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
You on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I find a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay. Good luck.
Thank you, ma'am.
Next on the docket was Pizarro Garcia. She's currently on behavior status.
Oh, sorry.
All right, I'm gonna find her behavior to be a waiver and appoint the public defender, 23 MO 127. It's a disorderly conduct, there's probable cause,
I think this is Watkins, right?
and the bond will stay at 250. She's not to return back
Okay.
to Pine and Court.
Now, next on the docket was Lonnie Watkins. He refused his appearance.
All right, I find his refusal to be a waiver and appoint the public defender. And 23 MO 128, disorderly conduct and state misdemeanors, there's probable cause. The bonds will stay at 250 on each count, no action on the out on release. Tell me your name.
Howard Crouch.
All right, Mr. Crouch, you're here in 2023 CF 963AO. You were arrested for driving while your license is suspended as a habitual traffic offender. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. There's probable cause. Don't drive without a valid driver's license, and I'll release you on pretrial release. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you're fine.
Tell me your name.
Donnie Dumas.
Mr. Dumas, you're here in 2023 CF 957AO. Arrested for trafficking in fentanyl, 28 grams or more, possession of cocaine, and grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. And I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. I do find that there is probable cause. Is that our bond for?
On schedule on fentanyl, yes, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Dumas, I am gonna stay the bond on count 1 at $1 million. Count 2 will be 150, count 3 will be 150. You're not to have any contact with any witness or co-defendant, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No contact with any victim either. And no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I'm revoking the bonds in 2022 CF 4563AO. You have the public defender already. And then 2022 CF 3440AO, and you have an attorney in that case as well.
They're both at none?
Yeah. All right, good luck.
Your Honor, next on the docket was Foster, Miss Rebecca. She's currently on mental health status.
Right, 2023 CF 972 and 2023 CT 89E. I'm appointing the public defender in each case. You want to waive her appearance?
Yes, Your Honor, we'll waive her appearance and enter a plea of not guilty.
Well, she hasn't been charged with anything yet.
Oh, she hasn't been charged
She's
yet?
been
Okay.
arrested, yeah.
Okay.
So, I would just do the initial appearance. And so I find probable cause for possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of cocaine and driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge. And so she's not to possess any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription and not drive without a valid driver's license. The bonds will remain at 100 and 1,000, and on the driving while license suspended, 500. All right, tell me your name.
Christopher Grant.
Mr. Grant, you're here in 2023 CF 973. You're arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer and reckless driving. And I'll appoint, well, you didn't fill out a form for the public defender. Do you want me to appoint them to represent you?
I'm gonna hire a lawyer.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer, all right. So your bonds will stay set at, well, you have no bond. He does qualify for pretrial, okay. And then you have a resisting without violence in 23 MM 9 or 495 AO. There's probable cause for that. I'm gonna release you on pretrial release in both of the cases. Stop when a law enforcement officer tells you to stop, okay? Tell me your name.
Luis Hernandez.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you're here in 2023 CF 941AO. You are arrested for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer with license sirens activated. There's probable cause. Were you gonna hire your own lawyer?
I'm thinking about it, but I haven't talked to my mom about like what's best for me. So
Okay, you're 22 years old.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm a
So you gotta figure out now, do you want me to see if you qualify for the public defender? You can always
Yeah.
hire your own lawyer, okay. Do you work?
yeah, I do.
And do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Yeah, I get paid 900 weekly.
Weekly, $900? Is that steady?
No, yeah, I work as a roofer.
Okay, I don't think he's gonna qualify. No, you're not gonna qualify. So you're gonna have to hire your own lawyer. I'm gonna put you on pretrial release.
Okay.
Okay? If a law enforcement officer tells you to stop, you stop. Tell me your name.
Gordon Hostler, ma'am.
Mr. Hostler, you're here in 2023 CF 965AO. You're arrested for resisting an officer with violence and trespass on property other than a structure or conveyance. I do find probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender in that case. And you're not to return back or have any contact with any victim or witness and abide by the trespass warning. You also have 2022 CT 1093AW. It's a probation violation warrant, and the judge did set your bond at none. I'll appoint the public defender in that case for you as well. And if you want to And Mr. Kiefer, if you want to enter a denial on the VOP, we'll give them a VOP date. So otherwise, they'll just bring him back here like in 3 days and we'll do the same thing, so.
Right, yes,
Gives
Your
them
Honor.
So you want to enter a denial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So we'll give them a date for the VOP in the CT case. And then, Mr. Hostler, I am revoking the release in 2022 CF 12654AO and setting the release or the bond at none. You do have the public defender in that case. Can we give him a VOP?
So, no, you have a bond on one case, but not in your seat.
And the bond, yeah, sorry. And the bonds will stay at 1,000 and 250 on the CF case.
The, I'm sorry, just for clarity, the revocation of bond was on the VOP?
No, 22 CF 12654.
12654, okay. 2654.
Yeah, otherwise they just bring them back and same thing. It's just easier.
Oh, I'm
All
sorry.
right, tell me your name.
Kiana Hudson Reynolds.
All right, ma'am, you're here in 2023 CF 949AO. You were arrested for possession of cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you find probable cause? I'll appoint the public defender. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You also cannot return back to that residence.
What's the residence one more time, please? 116.
1369 South Highland
It
Avenue.
was 1369, not 1639. Okay.
1369 South Highland Avenue. You may not go back there, okay? And no contact with the witness there. And I'll stay the bond
So I'm not getting out.
at 1,100. I'm not revoking the it looks like she's in PTD. It probably will get taken out of that, okay?
There's PTE.
So no action on the out on release.
PTD is pretrial diversion. So it's the program that you entered into as part of a plea or another case.
So I'm not getting out today?
You have a bond. I didn't revoke your release,
And,
okay?
You
Keep in
can,
touch with your lawyers.
assuming you don't have any other holds.
No, I don't.
Then, yeah, you still have to pay the bond.
So I won't be getting out until.
If you have any questions, you can call the number on the form that they gave you,
Okay,
okay?
so I just basically wait until I get out again? Okay, thank you.
Tell me your name,
John Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. All right, you're here in 2023 CF 967AO. You're arrested for attempted robbery, subsequent force, false imprisonment with a weapon, and battery. Did you find probable cause? I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness. No return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. So you can't go back to that Walmart at 902 Lee Road. The bonds will stay set at 2,500, 3,000, and 500. I am revoking the release in 2022 CF 10623AO. You do have a lawyer.
Oh.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, the bond is set at none. Okay. Tell me your name. All right, Mr. Jordan, you're here in 2023 CF 964AO. You're arrested for possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and possession of drug paraphernalia. Do you find probable cause? I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And I'll stay the bond at 1,000. Count two will be 100. Mr. Jordan, your other case, you're in pretrial diversion. You're probably gonna get kicked out of that, okay?
I was had court earlier this week to go, and I went.
Well, I'm just letting you know you're probably gonna get kicked out, and then you're gonna come see me, because I'm the judge in your case, okay? So, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I won't revoke your release, but if you get arrested again, I probably will.
Your Honor, next on the docket was Lanuza Hernandez. She's currently on mental health status.
All right, 2023 CF 958AO. I'll appoint the public defender. Mr. Kiefer, do you want to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, it's a battery on a uniformed licensed security officer. There's probable cause. And no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, no contact, and no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. The bond will remain at $2,500 or pretrial release if they eventually qualify.
Your Honor, it was at the airport, so state would ask for no return absent a ticket, just due to the airport.
Yeah, no return absent any
Valid.
ticket to fly somewhere.
Your Honor, next on the docket was Malia Laura. She's currently on mental health status.
Okay, I had, Meka Burasuna, but I'm sure they bonded, because I don't have a face sheet. 23001917. They bonded.
1917, you said, Your Honor?
Yeah,
Looks like they bonded.
okay. And you said, oh, what? Mental health, yeah. So I'm gonna appoint the public defender in 2023 CF 959AO and 2023 MM 497AO. Mr. Kiefer, do you want to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so it's possession of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer without, and a sanitary nuisance, and I find probable cause. And so no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bonds will be 1,100, 100, and 100. And then in the trespass case, I find probable cause. That bond will stay at 500. And there's a possession of cocaine and a battery that she's out on release on in 20, has that been filed? You know, it's an older.
No, not yet, and it's from August. State would request no action.
All right, I'll take no action on that. Yep. Yep. No return. Yeah, I'm sorry, the trespass, no return, no contact. Thank you. Tell me your name. Okay, and so I'm guessing Mathern Mike bonded?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Morgan, you're here in 2023 CF 966AO. You're arrested for possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. I find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the public defender, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond will stay at 1,000. Count two will be 100. In 2023 MO 131, it's a open container. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. The bond will stay at 250. And does he qualify?
He wouldn't, he has an outstanding warrant.
Okay, all right. So the bonds will just stay set.
That's our office's phone number, sir. Your bond is 50, but you also have.
That's
It's at 250. Okay, so, your bond for this one is 250.
This case is right here.
All right, tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Lisa Nieves.
All right, Ms. Nieves, you're here in 2020 CF 11028AO. And this is a failed to appear for a status hearing on May 17th of 21. The judge did revoke your release, but set your bond at 2,000. I'll appoint the public defender. You filled out a form. I don't know if you have a lawyer, but if not, you have one now, okay?
I do have
Can't change the bond. I'm not legally allowed to change the capias of the bench warrant. So if you can't afford that bond, the PD will file a motion for you.
I do have a public defender though.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay.
It's our office's phone number. that number.
Tell me your name.
Robert Stewart.
All right, Mr. Stewart, you're here in 2023 CF 570AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for criminal mischief over 1,000. And you do not qualify for the public defender. You make $900 every 2 weeks. Huh? Okay, you do qualify for the public defender. I'm gonna appoint them to represent you in your case. No contact with any victim or witness, no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. This is my concern here. I'm setting your bond at 2,500. I can't revoke your release on the out on release case in 2022 MM 8065AO because the offense date happened before you were released from jail on that case, the offense date in the new case. So I can't take any action on that. But I did set your bond at $2,500. You get arrested again, chances are your bond's gonna be revoked in both of your cases.
So I have a bond right now, correct? So I
You
can
do.
bond out currently.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you.
Madam Clerk, just so you know, that's a MM, not a CF, in case you have
I
paperwork.
put it on the thing.
It's incorrect.
Yeah, the out on release.
Okay.
Tell me your name. What is it?
Jerome Thomas.
Mr. Thomas? Okay. You're here in 2023 CF 976AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for destruction of evidence and possession of drug paraphernalia. And I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. Okay? Can't go back to that field without permission from the New Zion Progressive Missionary Baptist Church, okay? All right. And the bond will stay set at 1,000. Count two will be 100. I don't think there was anything else right now. All right, good luck. Tell me your name.
Ronnie Thornton.
Mr. Thornton, you're here in 2021 CF 14571. You were arrested for failing to appear for a case management conference on April 26th of 2022. The judge did set your bond at none. Does he have the public defender, do we know?
I'm not sure. I think I
I
do.
just want to make sure you have a lawyer, okay? Sure? Okay, you have a lawyer. They can file any motions for you. And then I think Thea White bonded? Yes, Your Honor. Okay, thank you. That was,
That's the number you call to get connected with your lawyer.
That's it.
thank you. Tell me your name. All right, Mr. Williams, you're here in 2023 CF 951AO. You're arrested for driving while license revoked as a habitual traffic offender. And I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No driving without a valid driver's license. The bond will stay at 2,500.
Your Honor, state would request no action on the out-on bond. It's from beginning of December and we haven't filed.
Okay, well, part of his conditions of release are you're not supposed to be getting arrested on anything when you're out on release. Nod your head if you understand.
Yes, ma'am, I do know.
Okay, so I'm not gonna take any action on your out on release case, but if I see you again, I will. You got me?
Yes, ma'am, may I ask some question?
Okay, well, what's the question?
Never mind, I have it totally understood.
Okay, you got me?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't drive without a license. Don't do drugs. Don't get arrested while you're out on release. That's all you gotta know.
You're good to go.
Tell me your name.
Javante Wembley.
Mr. Wimberly?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. You're here in 2023 CF 96180. You're arrested for attempted robbery with a firearm. And I do find that there's probable cause. You make $1,200 a week?
Yeah, I drive trucks.
So that's your paycheck?
Yeah.
And you have 2 kids? Okay,
It's 1,200.
so,
Or by,
Mr. Wimberly, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender based on your income, okay? So I can't appoint them to represent you. So you're gonna have to hire a lawyer. So no return back to the victim's residence.
This wasn't at a
Okay,
residence,
hold,
ma'am.
well, it's alleged that there was an arrival at 1234 West Church Street.
That's church.
Okay, so you can't go back there,
Okay.
okay? No contact with the victim or any witness in the case, because there was witnesses. No return, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And I believe it's an F2 as an attempt. Okay, so your bond is set at $15,000. $15,000.
we're not appointed, but this is your bond. 1,000, just so you know what it is. 10%, yeah.
All right, anything else?
Nothing from the state.
All right,
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
we will be in recess. All right, good morning, Mr. Akins.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, tell me your name, ma'am.
Angela Denise Baxter.
Okay. Ms. Baxter, you're here in case number 2023 CF 776AO, and you are arrested for aggravated assault with a firearm and shooting or throwing a missile into appears to be a vehicle in this case. And I'm looking at the court minutes from yesterday, so I don't know if Judge Starr found probable cause, or there's no record of that, but I saw that there was a possible pretrial detention motion.
Yes, Your Honor, so it was, my understanding, it was another ASA that was here when this case was originally heard, I believe on the 19th.
Oh, okay.
And state announced that they would be filing a pretrial detention motion, so it's reset for 3 days for state to file the pretrial detention motion. May I approach?
Sure.
It was previously filed by the ASA in the division. So yeah, this I'm just asking for 5 days for a hearing to be set within the division. It was my understanding per the notes that I had that probable cause was found on when she was originally heard it.
Okay, there's nothing on here as it relates to probable cause, but I've reviewed the affidavit. I do find that there's probable cause, Mr. Akins. Have you filed a notice of appearance?
Judge, we haven't, I just got in like last night.
Okay.
But we will be filing a notice. I was trying to look through the court record to see what the posture of the day is.
Well, it was a reset for a possible the court minutes just say reset regarding pretrial detention motion. The PD was appointed, so we will not appoint the PD any longer. Mr. Aiken's gonna enter into the case.
And the ASA and the division's contacting the JA to have a hearing within 5 days.
It's Division 15, and I don't know who that is anymore because everything's changed. Oh, Judge Weiss. Yes. Mr. Akins, what do you want to do? I mean, it looks like they filed it on the 19th.
Judge, and I don't want to speculate as what the intent was, what it looks like, this was filed because when my client was booked on one of the cases and posted bond, I believe, either they was assumed that she had been released, and then they was now filing this to seek her to be taken back into custody. I would just judge the case that she was here on initial appearance on Saturday morning, where she's already has no bond. I don't know if this is moot at this point.
Well, I don't know if it's moot. I mean, she could get a bond in that case, and I think they're entitled to have a hearing on the motion.
Usually you see this though, Judge, if someone's out, had posted bond, went out and then reoffended, she's never been released. I think this is kind of a bit premature as to what could happen, what possibly happen. We know she has got no bond set based upon the IA that came after this.
Separate, I mean, it's a separate incident.
Well, that's what's also hasn't remains to be unseen, because I don't know if all of these offense dates were on different dates.
Yeah, I don't know either.
What
'cause
it appears to be that it was on the same date, so that also, because everything that it shows on the clerk shows an offense date on 1/12, which is what's alleged here.
Obviously, the motion can be filed at initial appearance pursuant to the rule. I mean, it's the first part of the rule, motion filed at first appearance. So, I'm just, I don't think they've not complied with the rule. They can also file it after first appearance, and this is filed I don't think it's, I mean, does she have, she's being held at no bond in the other case, is what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I don't think that this generally then would prevent her from getting a bond. I mean, they're gonna have a hearing, Judge Weiss is gonna determine whether she's, a danger, right? And is not entitled to a bond, because the charges provide for a bond.
Correct.
But I think they're still allowed to file the motion. They'll have to get it heard within the time that's required by the rule, or else it becomes a moot issue at that point, I think. So I'm not obviously granting the motion for pretrial detention, but I think then it just puts a hold on what I can do at this time. So the bonds will remain at none, and Ms. Baxter will get a hearing before Judge Weiss on this motion, and if not, then you can file any motions, obviously, that need to get filed for purposes of getting a bond. I don't have the other cases in front of me, so.
Okay, and I just want to, is the state's position that the 3 cases was on different dates other than January 12th?
I don't know anything about the other cases.
I don't understand how that would be relevant to the pretrial detention motion.
I'm asking as far as if we need.
I don't have those other cases before me. All I have before me is this one, so I cannot speak to the other 2.
I'd just say for the
It's a
record, the
warrant.
relevance of it would be,
Yeah,
Judge, if
I
they say
mean,
it's
it
a
was
danger
a-
to the community, it's clearly relevant, so that would be the relevance to it.
I just say, review the affidavit in the other case and file any motions that you think need to be filed, but the other one's in Division 11 with Judge Navarro, so they're 2 different cases. They may get consolidated at some point for filing purposes, but that's for you guys to figure out, okay? All right, Mr. Akins, so I'm gonna keep her, in custody until the motion can be heard. Obviously, the state has a time limit, so they need to get it set and heard. I don't know if you want your motion back.
It can be filed.
Okay. All right, so the bonds will remain at none. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And obviously, I found probable cause, which was just not part of the court minutes from before.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Akins,
Yes, Judge.
good luck, Ms. Baxter. Good morning, tell me your name, please.
Carl Ramsey Schaefer.
All right, Mr. Ramsey Schaefer, you're here in case number 2023 MO 123AO. You were arrested for camping in a prohibited place and state misdemeanors, and I'm not really sure why this was reset. It doesn't tell me on the court minutes.
All I have, it was another ASA. All I have is that it was reset. I'm not really sure either.
This was the 20th, yeah, it was yesterday. Do we know why it was reset? Just says reset. I don't know if there was. Okay, did you come to court yesterday? Okay, maybe it was a refusal or something, okay. All right, I find probable cause. Is state have an offer for Mr. Ramsey Schaefer? Looks like there was an offer yesterday. I wasn't here. It's okay.
I never came to court yesterday. I didn't even know I had a.
It's okay.
Your Honor, state will convey an offer of a withhold credit time served.
Okay, is it 3 days?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Ramsey Schaefer, the state's offer is a withhold and credit for time served, so I would have to impose court costs. I'd give you a year to pay those. Do you want to accept the offer?
So just like court costs. That's it. You say you give me a year to pay him.
A year to pay your court costs.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay, do you have a plea form?
I believe I do, Your Honor.
I'm not gonna appoint the public defender, it's an extra cost that he doesn't need.
Ramsey Schaefer. RAMSEY. SHAFER.
Does anyone have?
The case number 2023 MO 123AO. All right, Mr. Ramsey Schaefer, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand everything contained on the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
I'm sorry?
Are you on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and did you want to plead guilty or no contest?
No contest.
All right, I'll accept your plea of no contest. I find a factual basis based on the affidavit in the court file. I'll accept your plea, your withhold adjudication, sentence you to 3 days with credit for 3 days, time served on each count. I'll impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay those. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence in writing, you must do so within 30 days. I'm not taking any action on the out on release case, but I can tell you if you come back for something else, that might be something that they, decide to revoke on, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not taking any action. It's 2022 CF 14707.
So will I be released today?
Huh?
Will I be released today?
Unless something else is holding you, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Good luck.
No, nothing else holding him.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Jason Carbello.
All right, Mr. Caraballo, you're here in 2023 CF 968AO. You were arrested by a warrant where probable cause was previously found for domestic battery by strangulation and domestic violence battery. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in the case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any victim in the case. You must maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with law enforcement to get any of your belongings, but you must be with law enforcement. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 is $2,500, count 2 is $100.
And Your Honor, before court, first appearance detainer was added, it was found that he looks like he's on pending pretrial diversion.
Yeah, I'm not gonna revoke, okay? It does, you might not stay in the program, but I'm not gonna revoke your release on the pretrial diversion case.
What that is.
If you're out on release on a DUI,
Okay. 25.
I don't know, that's what they're telling me, that you have a DUI pending and you went into pretrial diversion. I don't know, that's just what it says,
Yeah, I don't know what.
okay? But I gave you bonds on this case, and, okay? All right, thank you, sir, have a good day.
Okay.
All right, tell me your name, please.
Shit, Antonio.
All right, Mr. Edie, you're here in 2023 CF 950AO. You were arrested for aggravated battery on a pregnant person, false imprisonment, domestic violence, and hindering communication with law enforcement. And I do find probable cause for those offenses. I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you in your case. Good morning. Can I have you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. Tell me your name, please.
Tia Powell.
All right, Ms. Powell, how do you know Mr. Edie?
He's my child's father.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Ms. Powell?
Not from the state.
Okay. Mr. Edie, I'm ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Make sure you understand it. You're to maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence to get any personal belongings, you may return one time with law enforcement. Don't go there without them. Do you understand?
Can I see my kids? Because I take care of my kids.
Did you read the no contact order?
Yes, ma'am.
Then that should explain that, and you can file any motions that need to be filed in consult with your attorney, okay? But at this point, your children you can't have contact with them, okay? You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I'm setting your bond on count 1 at $5,000. Count 2 is $1,500, and count 3 is $150.
Your Honor, DCF was contacted.
And DCF was contacted? All right, and so any DCF investigation, you must comply with any DCF investigation. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Usually we bring them back for their contact sheets.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Taylor Boyd.
Mr. Boyd, you're here in 2023 MM 504AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there's probable cause. You do not qualify for the public defender. You make $600 a week?
I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay, any children or dependents?
No, ma'am.
No, okay. You're not gonna qualify for the public defender. I can't appoint them, so you'll have to find your own lawyer, okay?
May I
and-
ask why?
Because of your income. There's a certain threshold that you would have to make and to qualify, okay? You make too much money. That's a good thing sometimes, okay?
Yes,
All right, so I can't appoint them today. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case.
Yes, ma'am.
You must maintain a separate residence.
Okay, no problem.
Do you live with your brother?
I do live with him, but if I'm not allowed to stay there, I can go somewhere else.
Okay, do you need to go back to get your personal belongings?
Yeah, just like,
If you need to go back,
my shoes.
you must go one time with law enforcement. You gotta call them ahead of time. They'll meet you there,
No problem.
okay?
Yes, ma'am. My brother, he could just bring it to me.
No,
My other brother,
you-
not him.
Okay, well, just don't have contact with the brother in this case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. You do qualify for pretrial release. I'm gonna release you on pretrial release, okay?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I
I'm
apologize.
gonna release you on pretrial release.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, tell me your name, please. Mr. Edwards, you're here in 2023 MM 491AO. You were arrested for a violation of pretrial release, and it relates to a dating violence case. I do find that there's probable cause. Did he fill out a form for the public defender? No. Do we know if he has them on the out on release case?
It does appear he does on the out on bond.
Okay. All right, Mr. Edwards, you have the public defender on the other case. I'm gonna appoint them on this case for you too, okay? All right. Good morning. Can you raise your right hand for me, ma'am? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right. You can put your hand down. Can you tell me your name, please?
Isis Gage.
Okay, Miss Gage. And how do you know Mr. Edwards?
We dated a year ago.
Okay. And you have a no contact order with him. Do you can't he can't have contact with you. I can't order contact today. Do you want contact?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Edwards, you may not have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. Do you understand that? Okay. Well, I'm not sure that you do. So, again, I'm going to tell you, no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. You're not to return back to where the victim resides, to her home. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I'm setting your bond in this case at $2,500. I'm revoking the release in 2023 MM 335AO and setting the bond at none. Your attorneys will have to file a motion in that division in order to get you a bond if the judge deems it appropriate. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sir? Sir?
Please tell me your name.
Haley Palmer.
Ms. Palmer, you're here in 2023 MM 501AO. You were arrested for domestic violence battery. If you find that there is probable cause, you do not qualify for the public defender based on your income, so I cannot appoint them to represent you. I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. Do you all live together?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Okay, so you must maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back there, you can go back one time with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or any drugs without a valid prescription, okay? No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. And I'll release you on pretrial release. Make sure you don't violate any of those conditions. If you want to have contact, I know it's your sister, so you'll have to have a lawyer file a motion, okay? Right? Good luck. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Radigan.
Mr. Radigan, you're here in 2023 MM 18AE. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there is probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you hiring your own lawyer?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Okay. All right. I am ordering that you have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. And you live together?
Well, Your Honor, I'd like to talk about that just for a bit.
I'm just gonna order maintain separate residence. If you need to go back there, you can go pick up
I've
belongings.
operated a corporation for 31 years, and that's my home.
Okay.
It's a $1 million home on Lake Catherine and Maitland, and this girl's been there.
Okay, hold on. Everything you're saying is being recorded, okay? I just want to let you know that. So don't say anything about what's going on. I'm gonna figure out what's going on here. I'm just looking at addresses here, okay? So it looks like the victim lives there. I can't order you not to live at your home. So all I'm ordering is maintain separate residence. I'm not telling you you can't go back to the home, but if she's there, you can't be there. So that's a civil issue, okay? If you own the home and she's not paying rent or anything like that, then that might be a civil unlawful detainer that you can file.
He doesn't pay anything.
I'm just giving you some advice, okay? About, it's a civil issue. You can't go back there if she's there. If she's not there and she's left, then you can go back there, okay? If you need to go back to get any personal belongings or to make sure that she's there or not, you gotta go with law enforcement. I'll let you go one time with law enforcement. You're not to possess any alcohol or consume any alcohol or illegal substances without a valid prescription, no weapons or firearms or any ammunition. I am gonna release you on pretrial release, okay? Good luck. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Christopher Rivas.
Mr. Rivas, you're here in 2023 MM 493AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with any victim or witness in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. You're to maintain a separate residence. You don't live together, correct? No? Okay. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition, no alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription, and he did not qualify?
It was just his fingerprints. They have cleared now, so
Okay.
he would
I'm
qualify.
gonna, you've been qualified for pretrial release. I'm gonna release you on pretrial release, okay? Good morning. Tell me your name.
Kimberly Rosenfeld.
All right, Ms. Rosenfeld, you're here in 2023 MM 490AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Sir, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, tell me your name.
Wayne Williams?
You can put your hand down. I just need you to get closer so I can hear you.
Okay.
Tell me your name.
Wayne Williams?
All right, Mr. Williams, how do you know Ms. Rosenfeld?
She's my wife?
And you live together?
Yes.
Okay. Are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you want to have contact with her?
Yes.
Have there been prior instances of violence between the two of you?
Negative.
Law enforcement's never been called for any other reason between
Correct.
the two of you? Okay. If something like this were to happen again, or you felt threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Probably not. I don't feel threatened.
Okay, well, law enforcement got called here. I don't believe you called them.
No, I didn't.
But if there was violence, that's my concern, is that
Oh.
you're telling me you're not gonna call law enforcement
Oh.
if something happens.
Okay, then,
Well, I don't, now you know what I want to hear.
okay, I will call law enforcement.
Well, how do I know that?
Not sure. Promise?
You're gonna pinky swear?
Pinky swear.
Okay. I'm gonna allow you to have contact, okay, Ms. Rosenfeld, but this is the deal, right? It's non-hostile, non-violent contact. If you get upset, you walk away, you go for a walk around the block, you go take out your aggression somewhere else. Do you understand? No pushing, no shoving, no biting, no kicking, no getting in his face, no being disrespectful, no raising your voice. Walk away. Do you understand? Okay. So you're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Does she qualify for pretrial?
She could qualify, yeah.
Okay. So do I have to, I mean, you're telling me
No,
yes?
she'll,
Okay.
yeah, she'll
All right, so they're telling me that you qualify for pretrial release. I'm gonna release you on pretrial release. That means she'll have to report to pretrial release whenever they tell her to. She won't have to post a bond, okay? No hostile contact. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tell me your name.
Harry Stewart.
Papers, okay. All right, Ms. Stewart, you're here in 2023 MM 500 AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order. Make sure you understand it. You must maintain a separate residence from the victim. You're not to return back to the victim's residence. You must comply with any Department of Children and Families investigation. It appears as though they were called on this incident. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Do we have any information on pretrial?
I don't think they were qualified, Your Honor.
Okay. Your bond is set at $500. All right, good luck. Good morning, tell me your name.
Good morning, Jamal Underwood.
Mr. Underwood, you're here in 2023 MM 48AW. You were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there's probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you gonna hire your own lawyer?
No, ma'am, I was hoping to resolve the case as soon.
Okay, yeah, it's not filed on, so we can't resolve it, and that's, yeah, no. So do you want to see if you qualify for the public defender?
I know I would, but
Okay.
I'm good.
Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you work?
Yes, ma'am.
Where do you work?
I work at Miller's Ale House in Winter Garden.
Okay, and do you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly?
Get paid bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly? How much do you get paid bi-weekly?
Approximately $700.
Okay, approximately,
Yes, ma'am.
does that go,
That's like even amount based on my hours, 700 even.
okay, and then do you have any kids?
4 kids.
Okay, all right, you qualify. I'm gonna appoint the public defender to represent you. All right, you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. I'll have you sign the no contact order, make sure you understand it. Can be modified by a judge by motion, okay? So talk to the lawyers about that if you wanna have contact. You must maintain a separate residence. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. I don't believe you live there. You're not to possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition.
Your Honor, if I may?
Well,
Um,
why don't you talk, Mr. Kiefer, I appointed the public defender. I don't want him to say anything that he
I
might
wasn't gonna
later
say, I
regret.
was just gonna say anything.
Why don't you talk to Mr. Kiefer?
Yeah, here's my money, basically.
Your Honor, he just needs a one-time return to contact if you've already ordered that.
Well, what's there? What do you need to get?
His personal
I don't know
belongings.
if I have a bond or not.
I'm gonna give you a bond. It's $500, but you don't live there, so I don't know why you need to go back.
I was trying to say that we just moved there in November. That way if I did have the time, I just got my license back. Wasn't able to change my address to the address as a living address. That's why I'm not qualified to be living there. But I do have all my belongings there, which is my finance.
Okay, I'll let you go back one time with law enforcement to get your things, okay? You gotta be with law enforcement,
Okay,
okay?
that's understandable.
Don't go without them, all right?
Okay.
But your bond is $500.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, tell me your name, please.
Art Young.
All right, Mr. Young, you're here in 2023 MM 494AO. You were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You were also arrested in 2023 MM 506AO for violation of a condition of pretrial release. There is probable cause for that as well, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact, directly or indirectly, with the victim in the case.
There's kids involved, right? And
It doesn't matter. You
man,
have,
it's supposed to be.
stop talking. It doesn't matter if there's kids involved. I understand it can get emotional, but that's why
called
you
the
have a
police to get my
lawyer. They
stuff.
need to file a motion, okay?
Call the police to get my stuff. I wasn't in the house. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's something you'll have to address with your lawyers, okay? So no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. You may not return back to the residence. No weapons or firearms or any ammunition. Your bond on the battery is $1,500. Your bond on the violation of condition of pretrial release is $500. I am revoking the bond in 2022 CF 13961AO and setting the bond at none at this time. You do have the public defender in that case.
So I can't get out, run out.
Not on the out on release case, no. 500.
I'm sorry, could I have those two case numbers again?
So the new cases are 2023 MM 494AO and 2023 MM 506AO, and the out on bond is 2022 CF 13961AO.
All right, thank you.
Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Billy Jackson?
Mr. Jackson, you're here on an out-of-county warrant out of Lake County, and the judge in that case had set your bond at none. Lake County will have 24 hours to come pick you up. That's just pursuant to our administrative order, okay? If they don't pick you up within that time frame, then you'll come back and see a judge, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
All right, anything else we need to address for the morning?
The 33.
We still have, do we do arraignments in the morning now? Oh, okay, I forgot about those. I was here for 2 years and I forgot. All right. All right. Are you guys ready on the,
Yes, Judge.
okay, 2022 CF 14753AO?
Brandon Alexander, granted, notice of non-filing.
Did you guys date them? Okay. 2022 CF 14641, Amanda Brandt.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
2022 CF 13756, Darius LaShane Dabney.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
2022 CF 14704AO, Joseph Lee Filion.
Denied, and information was filed.
2022 CF 14716AO, Alex Douglas Gates.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
2022 CF 14708AO, Lakita LaShawn Harris.
Granted, it was no billed.
2022 CF 12286AO, Dondrick Dion Hooks.
To be denied, his bond was previously revoked, so they need to file a bond motion, not a 33 motion.
2022 CF 14756AO, Williams Charles Mays.
Granted, notice and on filing.
2022 CF 145110AO Heriberto Velasquez.
Granted, notice and on filing.
All right. And we don't do arraignments in the morning?
No.
Okay. All right, we'll be in